we're going to start the first process for building the box. We're going to build a box or a crate to ship a panel. This stained glass panel, which is off the top of my head, I believe it's 20.5 inches. I'll set it down. So here's the components, here's the players to the game. I've got a pine board, 3/4 inch. It's $12.51. I'm going to cut this board, I'm going to rip it, and I'm going to cut it in such a way that I'm going to get more than one crate out of my supplies. The whole board, an 8-foot board, it's 8 inches wide, $12.51. Everything was from Lowe's. This is 11/32 sanded plywood. It was $21.93. You should easily have enough for 4 crates, maybe, out of this sheet, depending on how big. Actually, I can see 6 crates. If they're small panels, it could be made out of 1 sheet. So as we add up our materials, we think this could be efficient as we divide it by how many boxes we can get. And the third item that we're going to need is 1/2 inch foam core. You get that at Lowe's as well. Everything is from Lowe's that I'm utilizing. And this stuff works really well. All you need is a carpet knife in order to cut it. So it's very cooperative. These 3 components, along with your screws, is all that's going to be needed to ship a crate with dang near 100% efficiency and confidence. There's a certain formula that I utilize when I go about choosing the size, the thickness of the crate, the length times width, the depth, and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to go through that step next. This one is just to identify the materials. Now let's talk about what it's going to take in order for me to cut up these materials. You're going to utilize this type of technology or something close. I have a DeWalt table saw, and I can adjust my guard for the various sizes, of course, to cut on my saw. You're going to need to have a table saw, access to a table saw, or that would be the most efficient to cut your piece of wood. So you now know you need to find table saw, unless you're good with a skill saw or a hand saw. I'm talking automation with tools that are readily available amongst most of us. So not trying to get real specific. You're going to need a way of cutting your rails, your side boards. This is going to be presumably, well, perhaps it will be my thickness, depending on the formula that we're going to utilize in the video. This is just a spare board that I'm using for an example. But this will be the side of the crate. You are going to need some way to cut that wood. You're going to need called a power miter box, or a handheld with a saw, so you can cut it yourself, which is totally fine and very accurate. Or this is called a chop saw. Some people call it different things. So you're going to need some type of a saw in order to cut your boards to the proper length and width. This saw, the table saw, will cut our proper width of this board from the raw board that you see over here. With the table saw, I will take the raw plywood and cut it into 2 squares, one for the top, one for the bottom, and 4 sides made out of pine. So these 2 saws are very limited in what they're going to be doing, but very important in determining our foundational accuracy. If we have a square panel, our square way of cutting our wood, everything is much more cooperative, easier on us as we send our piece out knowing in confidence it's going to be protective and it could be there for a long time, and in the shipping that panel ain't gonna get broke. So those are our players. Now you're going to need hammer and nails, or I use my screw gun. So You're going to need a carpet knife to cut your foam core. And of course a pen and a pen or a pencil, and you're good to go. That's really your full material list to make a incredibly successful crate for you to store your panels, to move your panels, to ship your panels. And then my success, because I've been through many injuries in my life, is I'm taking CBDs. Not just because 3 initials fall on the package. This is some of the highest in the land. Check it out. It helps me in my crusade of continuing on in endurance after many injuries. It helps me. I hope you find your source or contact me. Looking forward to the next video. Let's get going. Bye-bye.